kill this piece of junk. And she said, so I take it that wasn't on purpose. I began to sense her smart-ass attitude and rolled my window back up. She was pissing me off. She began to provoke me by banging on my window, so I climbed into the back seat and grabbed my crowbar. I'm gonna knock the hell out of that bitch. So I slid the back door open and knocked her in the head a few good times. The first hit was enough to put her out, but I'll just make sure.
You will never understand.
I duct taped her lips, and next I duct taped her wrist and feet and binded her to the chair in my trunk, sitting upright. Now my plan is finally following through. I'm gonna torture and kill this stupid little shit. So I look at her sitting upright and unconscious to the very back of my van in binds. The chair was in the perfect position, just the way I imagined, and now I am going to finally end this torture.
You will never understand. You're a monster.
I parked at my secret spot, deep in the woods near the swamp. I climbed to the back as she was waking up. She tried to scream and started to cry. I told her, nobody can hear you or save you now. And I slapped her and I took the tape off her mouth and opened up the trunk doors. She was screaming, but I liked it and wanted her to. Because Candace will be gator meat soon. So I grabbed the rope. Wake up the beast! I want you to! I encouraged her as I clumsily ripped her from the chair, duct tape and all. And I threw her over my shoulder like a sack of potatoes. She tried to wiggle free and scream some more. Then I wrapped the rope around her neck and legs and threw her into the swamp.
Please. Please. I just wanted to talk to my little girl.
And at this moment, I knew the swamp was infested with alligators. So I tugged and tugged to make sure she felt that first bite. Right on that pretty little face of hers. Kiss of death. I never seen that one coming. But I never would have gave her the satisfactory of drowning either. I pulled her body out onto the marsh because I wanted to see what the death roll and all that chomping could do.
You're gonna pay for what you've done. You're gonna pay.
But to my surprise, she wasn't dead yet. She was coughing and said, I'll remember this, you piece of shit. I told her she won't have to if she's dead.
I can manifest myself in your dreams. And by God, I will make it happen.
So she's still in binds to my surprise. So I went and got my crowbar and made sure her legs were broken. I beat her in the chest and broke her hands and arms, but then tore off her binds and threw her ass back in the swamp. She screamed and cried and begged for mercy, but I just went back to my van and watched the gators enjoy their supper.
In your dreams, to remind you of what you have done to me. I will not let you forget it. You do not deserve to be forgiven.
That should teach her. You rip me off, then you will be ripped apart. So she got what she deserved. I got into my van and drove off after those gators finished her up. As for me, just call me Red. This is my way of life, and I'm sick of being ripped off.
You make sure that you remember this face. Because I will be back. Dark hours.
You're about to be inside the mind of a psycho. This is the story of Candace.
Dark hours.